Hey, hey, what do you say? We're at 0.1 step 2, the course syllabus. The course syllabus is very long, and part of that is because this course is designed to fulfill the University of Minnesota class English 1001W Intro to Literature. And the University of Minnesota requires me to have certain things in here. So here's what I did. I put the first few pages of the syllabus are what I consider to be the most important. And then everything else, which is important, but maybe not as important, I titled it, let's see what I titled it. I titled it, University of Minnesota part, that's on page 8. And then also I titled another part, Department of English Policies, that's on page 11. And so those are, they're important, but here's what I want you to think of it as. Think of it as resources that you can turn to when you have a particular question about something specific. It's not necessarily something you have to read word for word. I do, however, want you to read the first few pages word for word. So I've got it open here on the screen. This is page 4 in the syllabus. And what I want you to do is to mark up this syllabus. You're going to mark the text. And so here are some ways that you're going to mark the text. Circle key terms, phrases, underline detail information, star or put an exclamation mark next to surprising or important information, and finally make comments in the margins. Okay, and so you actually have to write in your syllabus in order to get your must-do points for this activity. All right, so I'm going to go through it. If you want to just read it on your own, that is perfectly fine. We can piece out right here. You can go on your own, read it, mark the text, make sense of it. If you want to stay and listen and follow with me as I read through the course syllabus, you sure can. So either way is perfectly fine, no judgment, okay? So I'm going to get started going through the syllabus right now. If you want to do it on your own, we'll catch you later. All right, folks who are staying, let's take a look. First of all, I have this image here, and I like to make an image, like a graphic for each year, and this is our graphic for 2024, 2025. And this one comes from the artist Keith Haring, and this particular piece is actually on display right now, not for much longer. I forget when it ends, but in Minneapolis at the Walker Art Gallery. And I went and saw it this summer, and I was struck by Keith Haring's art, the idea that art is for everybody. That's what the exhibit is titled. And I love that idea, that art is not just for the academic elite or people who have enough money to pay for a ticket to go to a museum, but that art is really for every person. It's as important as anything else that we do in our lives. It's fundamental. And I believe that. And of course, in this class, we study literary art. So I kind of frame the work that we do around this idea of visual art, just because it's a great thing to see, right? It's visual. But of course, literature is art as well. All right, so that's a little about our tile, our graphic for the year. And then I've got some information about me. Well, this is what our course is titled, I guess. We've got 2 things happening at the same time, right? We've got English 1001W and IBHL. So this first one, this is the CIS part through the University of Minnesota. And the second part, this is the International Baccalaureate part. You have to be enrolled in the IBHL if you are a diploma candidate. If you are not a diploma candidate, then you get to choose if you want to enroll in the University of Minnesota CIS English 1001W or the IBHL, right? Okay. Here are the required materials for this course. We're going to start with an ancient Greek tragedy called Medea by a dude named Euripides. I love saying his name. And then we're going to move on to a, I've got these inverted. We're actually going to read Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale after Medea, which is a dystopian text about an authoritarian, a totalitarian government that has completely taken over women's bodies. Then we are going to read Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried, which is a bit more realistic fiction, I would say, and talk about postmodernism. Then we are going to end semester 1. In semester 2, we're going to explore some poetry, both by Robert Frost, this guy, and some other poetry, miscellaneous poetry. We're going to read a memoir second semester by Jesmyn Ward called Men We Reaped. And we're going to read some short stories from an anthology called Out There Screaming, an anthology of New Black Horror edited by Jordan Peele. And then you're going to read a choice book as well. So first semester is sort of pre-21st century. Second semester is mostly 21st century. All right, that's kind of how I've divided it. All right, so here it is again. I've got the dates here as well for the units, so you know exactly when we're working on the units and what they're numbered. I also put the breaks in here as well, winter break and spring break. All right, the next part is the assignments and the percentages associated with them. So first of all, the packet work, I want you to know, is really only worth 10% of your grade, okay? So it's a good way to bump up your grade from a C to a B or a B to an A. I want you to think of it that way. But the actual writing down of things in the packet, I know that's not the same as learning, right? And so it's worth 10%. It's not worth 50% or some larger amount. It's a way to help you learn, to help you stay on track of what it is you're supposed to be learning, to help you organize that learning into these notes. But it isn't the learning, all right? But each unit will have a packet, and I will always tell you what you must do, what you should do, and what is an aspire to do assignment. I actually give you extra points for doing aspire to do. So it's just a way to earn extra points. I put points onto your packet based on whether or not you do aspire to do stuff in it. So you can actually earn more than 100% if you do all of the packet, including all of the aspire to do's. So it's a great way to get makeup points for any missed points on the assessments, which are the other, which is the next category. 40% of your grade is going to be on in-class assessments. So mastery checks are in-class assessments, and mastery checks are formative assessments, just like the packet, although mastery checks are worth twice as much as the packet. Then we've got 6 to 8, so there's one for each lesson in each unit. And then each unit is either going to have a mid-unit exam or an end-of-the-unit exam, sometimes both. Although usually the end-of-the-unit assessments are in the form of writing assignments. So I put exactly what each unit has and when the deadline is. These are hard deadlines, okay? Most of these assessments are exams. We do have 2 discussion summative assessments. Those will come in second semester, so I'll talk to you more about those in second semester. The other 40% of your grade is the writing assignments, and these are original and independent writing assignments. One you're going to revise to final publishable copy, and that is the one that IB folks are going to use as they submit their higher level writing assignment. Okay, So these are all of the writing assignments. We're actually starting the year with a summative assessment that is a writing assignment. That's a college application essay. You've got a literary analysis for both The Handmaid's Tale and The Things They Carried. And then you're going to revise one of those two into a final draft. We're also going to do a poetry literary analysis second semester and a compare-contrast, really a literary analysis in second semester as well. Okay, modern classroom, I talked to you a lot about that in that first video, so I'm not going to read through it right here, but here's all that good stuff from that first video if you'd rather read it instead of, listening to it, if that's a better way for you to gain understanding, or if you want to go back and say, wait, what did she say about hard deadlines and target deadlines? It's all written here. Okay. The details on semester 1, this is semester 1 broken down, how voice shapes truth. And we have unit 0, which is about you telling your own truth as you write your college application essay. Unit 1 is that ancient Greek text, and it's about how Medea slants the truth. It's about how she makes the truth what she wants it to be in order to get what she wants. Unit 2 is really about rejecting the truth of the totalitarian voice that's trying to manipulate what the individuals in the society know and believe as the truth. Unit 3 is questioning if there is any truth, ever, period. And then finally, you're going to, in that last unit, which is just a couple of weeks, revise one of your 2 literary analyses. All right, for those of you who are enrolled in IB, Higher Level English, this is how your IB score is created. The higher level essay, which we're going to do first semester, is 20%. The internal assessment you did last year, that was 20%. And then these 2 are the timed writing exams in May, and they are worth the most, right? They're worth 60%, is it? Yeah, 60% of your score. All right, the human element, why are we here? Well, I already know because of your enrollment in the class that you're up for a challenge. And so I congratulate you for that. I congratulate you for taking the class. I think that art, the study of art, literary art in addition, is something that goes beyond just wanting to work hard or get college credit. I really think that it can change the world. It can save us. And I'm going to have you read an excerpt of a Nobel Prize speech in this unit that gets into that a little bit more by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. I also believe that you are a genius. You can learn anything. And I'll talk to you more about that in a separate lesson as well. I strive to be an LGBTQIA ally and anti-racist, and I support and uphold those groups, as well as the disabled community in the classroom. And so be careful what you say. I will call you out on things if it's not kind of in adherence with this, because it's something I really believe at the core of everything I do. The classroom expectations in here are listed here. And then I've got this quote from Alexander Solzhenitsyn about the power of art. All right, the rest of the syllabus is from the University of Minnesota. And so you can read that to find out all about all of the details. You will get a U of M credit, actually 4 credits, according to their grading system, if you're signed up for the CIS English 1001W course. So do read through this. Just know that you don't have to memorize it all. Pay particular attention to the policy on ChatGPT, and then you can move on to the reflection, which is a should do. And I hope you work on it with somebody else, because collaboration is what? It's beautiful. Thanks, guys.